The member for Robertson.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for the Environment and Energy. Will the minister update the House on action that the government is taking to ensure there is enough baseload dispatchable power to deliver an affordable and reliable energy supply to Australian families and businesses, including in my electorate of Robertson? Is the minister aware of any alternative approaches?
The Minister for the Environment and Energy.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and I thank the member for Robertson for her question. And know she's a hard-working member who's deeply concerned about rising power prices and the impact on her constituents. And she, like all of the members on this side of the House, understand we are doing everything possible to ensure sufficient dispatchable baseload power in the system, like the export mechanism that were put in place to restrict gas exports and ensure that there is more sufficient domestic supply, the investment in Snowy 2.0 and other storage projects, Mr Speaker, our support for the Finkel recommendation that large-scale generators give a minimum 3 years notice of closure and that wind and solar farms provide their own levels of backup. Now, Mr Speaker, I'm asked am I aware of any alternative approaches. Well, we know the Leader of the Opposition was not the people's choice. It was not the people's choice. Well, now we know he's not the workers' choice. He's not the workers' choice, because the Labor Party, led by the Leader of the Opposition, wants to close down Australia's coal-fired power stations. It's in your election platform. It's in the motions that you joined with the Greens, and it's in your reckless 45% emissions reduction target, Mr Speaker. And after the experiences of Labor governments in South Australia and Victoria, which oversaw the closure of Northern and Hazelwood, we've seen the higher prices and the less stable system that flows from closing coal-fired power stations. But you don't hear the member for Hunter speak out for the workers in his electorate. He waves the white flag. He waves the white flag. He's not interested in the workers in Liddell. You don't hear from the member for Shortland, about those workers at Vales Point. You don't hear from the member for Paterson.
The Minister resume his seat. The Minister resume his seat. The members for Shortland and Brand, amongst others, are interjecting again far too often and far too loud. I'm giving fair warning now. The Minister for the Environment and Energy has the call.
Mr Speaker, isn't it ironic that the Labor members are now finding their voice when they had nothing to say when Labor Party announced their policy to close the coal-fired power stations?
Member for Shortland will leave under 94A.
Has said nothing
the member for
about
Shortland,
Vales Point.
Minister resume his seat. The member for Shortland has been asked to leave under 94A twice, and he can't hear because he's shouting at the chamber. The minister has the call.
As my learned colleague said here, the members and the constituents and the members' electorate will be better represented now that he's left the chamber, Mr Speaker. Now that he's left this chamber, because the member for Hunter has been nowhere to be seen. The member for Shortland been nowhere to be seen. The member for Paterson has been nowhere to be seen. And the Leader of the Opposition has failed to be upfront with the Australian people how his plans to close coal-fired power stations will cost jobs, cost investment, cost growth, see higher electricity prices and a less stable system. That's Labor's energy policy.